Hello and welcome. This tutorial will show you how to create a Coleman Digital Assistant skill that retrieves a customer's credit profile. The ability to effectively handle credit is paramount to the longevity and prosperity of any business, and this skill was created to deliver users with vital insights quickly. We will be using Infor's Cloud Distribution SXE suite as the ERP. However, this skill can be used as a foundation to create similar skills on different Infor cloud applications. Let's see what the finished product looks like. Let's click here to activate Digital Assistant in Portal. By the way, if you're using Mingle, it can be found on the top of the screen next to the search bar. Now, let's ask it to show us the credit profile for a particular customer. Let's enter which customer we want. By the way, this can be also set up to search by name. We will cover that in a more advanced video. And the final requirement for this skill is to enter the company number for that customer. Within a few seconds, the user will get a snapshot without having to search in multiple screens in their ERP. I have already created the skill for this tutorial, but I'll walk you through the process. From Infor OS, let's go to Digital Assistant. Then, go into the skill I've created for this tutorial by clicking the pencil icon. When you are first creating your own skill, enter a skill ID, skill name, and a brief description, and what language you're using. Then click the Next button. The next screen is Fulfillment. Since it's an API call, we will choose it from the drop-down. API suite is SX, and product, Infor Distribution SXE. We will use the API lookup overlay to find an API that does what we want. This lookup contains all the APIs for the suite and product we've selected. Let's run a search for customer balances. The first one on the list is the one we'll be using. Click on it and then OK. I've already added it to this skill. The API path has been populated with our selection, but we will need to choose Get from method type. SX Enterprise requires 3 parameters when requesting this API: company number, operator initial, and customer number, which I have purposely left out for demonstration purposes. Click Add Parameter, then give it a self-created unique name with a parameter type of query string. The response body section was also populated when we chose the API in the previous step. Click Next. Let's start from the bottom up in the requirements section. The 3 unique names we added in the previous section have been brought over. Customer number, which was entered for this demonstration, needs to be completed. Select requirements for variable source and its variable name. Finally, I want the operator's initial to be included when the API call is made. We do this by choosing Other and then manually entering the username for this ERP. For SX Enterprise, it is required to have a user with sufficient rights. We can add security for roles and/or users for this skill on the skill's home screen. It's a fairly easy process, and I will provide a link to the documentation below. Next, we will ask the user to enter the 2 remaining parameters by asking a question. The only remaining parameter is company number, since in the previous steps we're sending the operator's initial as part of the query. Click Add Requirement, then enter company number with a type of string, and then finally enter the question we will prompt the user. Digital Assistant will wait for the user's input before it executes this query. Let's click Next and move on to the Utterance section. Utterances are the example phrases we envision end users saying when they want to begin this skill. Be sure to provide a few variations. For this demonstration, I've only entered 1, but it is recommended you enter a few. Let's click Next and move to the Response section. I've previously entered 6 responses that the user will get for their query: credit limit, high balance, average days to pay, number of times past due, last payment amount, and term types. This can be tailored to fit your needs. Let's say we also wanted to see when the last payment was received. Click Create Variable, give it a name, now let's find the API response value by clicking on the magnifying glass, searching for the corresponding value, in this case, last payment date, click on it, and then select. Now let's review the response condition section. A response condition is a set of criteria that must be met before a certain action can be taken. If an inappropriate answer is given, the user will be prompted to re-enter it. If, however, the condition is met, they will be given the default response that we define below. For this demonstration, we're going to say, if Digital Assistant does not respond with an OK, then prompt the user to re-enter. Otherwise, go to the default response below. We will set variable to HTTP status code, not equal to OK. Then we will say a message will be sent to the user, and here we will type in the message. Once a correct response is received, the user will be given the default response. The default response will be, for this customer, this is the response. Same thing for credit limit, high balance, terms, average days to pay, number of times past due, and last payment amount. Now, if you remember, we added last payment date. So let's put that in here. Squiggly bracket. And let's search for the last payment date. Select it, and the close bracket is automatically inserted. Finally, let's click on Next, and that takes us to the summary page. We can view everything we've done in both text view, and there's also a flow view. We will click on Save. Once it's saved, you're ready to test your skill and then deploy it. That completes our demonstration. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for new content added every week. Thank you.